Protect your online privacy today at expressvpn.com/inside.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Thursday. Let's talk about the next generation of consoles. Again, we're just as tired.
No, we're excited. Can't you hear it?
Oh, that's right.
You're right, we're excited. Woo!
Woo!
I switched to excited mode this morning. Can you hear it?
Are you drunk? Are you on the wine again?
My man, are you hitting the bottle?
No, I'm hitting the chia pudding. Really making me feel a little bloated, I'm not gonna lie.
Respect. You probably watched the PS5 Games Showcase today, which I will be streaming, so it's too late to plug
you already
that.
have?
Never mind, I've already...
You had streamed
So you probably watched the PS5 Games Showcase today. You probably watched it on our channel with myself, obviously. But let's talk a little more about the hardware and how it might not be all
that it's cracked up to be.
So when it comes to the next generation consoles, one of the key differences between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X looks like it's going to be load times. Finally, we've already heard a lot of good reports about the PS5's load times, or lack thereof.
Maybe it's some trickery. Maybe at those demonstrations they've swapped out the PS5 with one that started loading minutes before. Anyway, it's getting high praise from people outside of Sony. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney, a friend of the show, has even said that the PS5's ultra-fast solid-state drive makes the next-gen console more efficient than most PCs.
Yeah, but can you put Audacity on a PS5?
The recent Unreal Engine 5 tech demo is run on a PS5. It also showed off how fast the new console is. Even some Microsoft officials have admitted that the PS5 probably beats the Xbox Series X in the battle of load screens. No one buys a console because of load screens. Never has, never will. It's weird that they're going all in on this.
Yeah, that's why Microsoft's like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you're into that kind of thing.
Anyways, Microsoft program manager Bill Stillwell recently said on the Iron Lords podcast that the Xbox developers might have come up with tricks and techniques to make up the difference in load times, like maybe having an elevator load screens in an Xbox Series X version of a game. So
we have a series of tips and tricks, like a shoe with a knife in it.
But will all games load super duper fast on the PS5? One developer is doubtful that the SSD will be fully utilized by third-party developers. Ooh, and this comes from Thomas Mahler, the game director of Moon Studios, which is known for making Ori and the Blind Forest, and its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Mahler weighed in on the whole next-gen debate in a series of posts on Reset Era where people were talking about the differences between load times on the upcoming consoles. He said, well, you just make a game without load times. He said that third-party developers probably won't go through the trouble to make multiple versions of their games the way Stillwell was describing.
He wrote, I would be shocked if most third-party developers would not just develop their games for the lowest common denominator. I mean, there's literally zero chance that levels will get changed just because the PS5 can load them faster, simply because it's way too expensive and work-intensive to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it makes sense for PS5 exclusives or whatever, but no one's gonna make a different game for the PS5.
Unless they release, like, years apart.
So, anyways, like you said, those games that are gonna have nice, smooth, load-free optimization on the PS5, that's probably going to be the first-party developers.
He went on to say the super fast PS5 SSD is nice for first party, but it won't make any economical sense to heavily adjust your games to suit one particular platform. On PCs and the Xbox, you'll have to work with what's there, so it's two platforms against one.
Well, what about Switch?
Yeah, why? I can't believe they just blew past Switch without acknowledging it at all.
Yeah, he's kind of describing a situation similar to Nintendo hardware, where the first-party games are typically a lot better optimized for hardware compared to third-party games.
Yeah.
Like you just said. Not that he's not impressed with the PS5, though, because he is. Mahler compared the two consoles, saying, you have a nice and fast SSD in the Xbox Series X, then you have a crazy fast SSD with some other stuff that allows you to shuffle data into RAM even faster on PS5. That's awesome for PS5, and I don't in any way want to downplay how awesome that is. Yes, you heard me correctly. He said awesome twice in one sentence while referring to the PS5.
That's so awesome, dog. I mean, just like, that is so awesome. We love to just have an awesome time here.
This guy worked at Zoomies before he got into game dev.
What's up, my man? You looking for something awesome to be awesome in?
What's up, dude? Can I grip your wheels today?
He also said that it's clear that the Sony first-party devs will design their games around the crazy SSD and ensure that everything's smooth and juicy all the time and that you don't even see loading screens at all, and that's great. What's up, man? You're looking juicy today.
He added, though, that it's wrong to assume that third-party devs will change their games completely, adjust compress levels and other stuff to squeeze the most out of the PS5 architecture is just nutty.
Nutty, juicy, awesome.
So, you know what though? All this talk of smooth and juicy and squeezing has me wanting a big fat steak.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Like I've said before, and I'm saying it again, Father's Day is coming up, so why don't you give Dad the gift he really wants this year, which is perfectly aged tender steak. Omaha Steaks will deliver the world's best steaks and a huge variety of other favorites directly to your dad's door. Right now, Omaha Steaks is offering our viewers access to a variety of amazing packages that are perfect for your dad for Father's Day. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code INSIDE into the search bar. You'll see all the great options available, many that include free shipping and a free 1-pound package of their perfectly cured, incredibly thick applewood smoked steak cut bacon. There are many packages available that are perfect for dad, and they're all ready to be shipped straight to his door in time for Father's Day. Omaha Steaks has a variety of Father's Day packages that include world-famous Omaha Steaks, naturally aged at least 21 days for tenderness and hand-carved perfection, burgers, franks, sausages, and other favorites, perfect for grilling. Spend a little time out back. Premium poultry and pork cut by Omaha Steaks butchers and individually sealed for freshness and flavor. Tasty and easy to make side dishes, no work one-step family meals, artisan desserts, and much, much more. Right now, Father's Day packages are ready to order and ready to ship, and many include free shipping and a free pound of steak cut bacon. Omaha Steaks delivers guaranteed quality and safety with every order, so send Dad a gift of food he will love this year. Visit omahasteaks.com and type INSIDE in the search bar to shop for Father's Day today. Thank you, Omaha.
Hey, Connor, thanks so much for that sweet read about that schmeat. So in the end, Mahler feels like the PS5 is going to have faster load times, while the Xbox Series X will have an edge in other areas. He wrote, what I think will be the usual case is that you'll see Xbox Series X games render at 4K more regularly and or better frame rates, and on PS5, games will load faster. Players will have to decide what's more important to them.
Speaking as somebody that doesn't have a 4K TV and is really looking forward to a God of War sequel, my decision is made.
Well, here's the thing. All this tech stuff, it's great and all. People buy consoles for two reasons. Number one, exclusives. Number two, what console your friend has. Those are the two reasons that people buy consoles. So this hardware stuff is great, but like...
Well, it also has to look really cool.
Not even.
He also gave a hypothetical comparison of load times on the new console, suggesting that if it took 5 seconds to load a section of a game on the PS5, maybe it would take 10 seconds on the Xbox Series X.
Hey, that's 5 seconds add up. We only got so much time on this mortal coil, and I'm not going to spend any extras waiting on a Xbox.
Could add up to a whole minute of a gaming session.
What if your mom only lets you play 30 minutes a day?
What if that extra minute on your deathbed could have meant the difference between you getting to hear your child finally say that they love you and not, slipping away before they could actually get the words out?
Mahler wrote, I don't know if I'd care that much about 5 seconds saved every time I load. If what I give up for that is frame rate or resolution, and I guess that's the bet that Microsoft made here. More raw power rather than faster data transfer.
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. Microsoft might be betting that gamers would rather have high-end graphics over a few extra seconds saved of load times, and again, that's a hypothetical scenario, but Mahler's perspective is valuable because he is a developer, and they're the ones who have to make games for these machines. So
it's entirely possible that the PlayStation 5 could have the best hardware and no load screens, but then also its interface could be dog and it could make no sense and be awful to move around, and it could take them months to fix it. It may be a kind of thing where like you've gotten the PlayStation 5 and you're never going to have a load screen again. But for some reason, when you say the word PlayStation near it, it opens up a voice command context menu and takes you out of the game you're in. Who knows what dumb bull each console maker is going to put in, because we know there will be some dumb that they're going to have to work out of the interface. The experience is not just an SSD.
Yeah, he's also giving us a reality check on what it's really like to develop multi-platform games. Sony
Zach, why don't you take this?
Yeah, he's also giving us a reality check on what it's really like to develop multi-platform games. Sony's shown off all these impressive demos with really quick load times, but they have all been on first-party games like 2018 Spider-Man.
Wait, so are you saying that a game company is doing a little false advertising when rolling out a new console? Say it ain't so.
It's not like Sony hasn't done this before. They really promised the moon when it came to the PlayStation 3 and the power of the cell. So much so that it became a meme.
And Mahler's comments make sense that third-party developers aren't going to go through a bunch of extra work to make completely different versions of their games. That's a lot more hours, a lot more people to pay, and ultimately, it's less profit for them.
Yeah, it's easier to just say, if one version of your game has elevators, then all of them are gonna have elevators. duh. And if Uncharted 5 or whatever has faster loading times, great. It just a little perspective for you.
Yeah, it's helpful to have just a little bit of perspective on these things.
Yeah.
What about a guy named Steve that's a douchebag?
Does he have like a hat on, maybe?
He's got a hat and a big hoodie, and he's in a doorway.
Steve's senior quote is,
wow.
if I have to watch that doubloon spin for 5 more seconds while waiting for Uncharted to load... ...
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Thursday. I'm gonna have to use my whole ass stimulus check on a PS5 Thursday.
Not a problem.
So it doesn't
problem.
rhyme or have any funky alliteration, but good God, you gotta hang on to that money. Don't be like me. Don't make the same mistakes I did.
What'd you spend your stimulus check on?
Candy.
Yeah, we're all about positivity